Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. My name is Kartik, one of the co-founders of ETH Global. I want to welcome all of you to the Polygon ZK Day. You are all watching this thing on ethglobal.tv, so just a quick reminder for everybody who's coming in for the first time, we encourage all of you to log in and say hi to all of us. This is the live platform we're going to be using for the rest of the day, and if you have any questions for our speakers or if you have any comments that you want to relay to any of our audience or our speakers, you can write them in the chat there, and we'll be able to relay them directly to our speakers. And also for everybody who logs in, you will be getting a NFT POAP token. So stay tuned for that after the end of the summit. So this event is brought to you by ETH Global. And for those of you who don't know, ETH Global is an organization with a very simple goal. Our goal is to get more Web3 developers into this ecosystem. And we do this by running hackathons and summits. And this is our last event of the year. And we're super excited to be hosting this day, talking about all things ZK. So let's get into what today is going to look like. So we have an amazing day planned. We're going to talk about a handful of things. We're going to do a quick update on what is happening in the Polygon ecosystem and with respect to zero knowledge world. There's going to be an exciting announcement from the Polygon team, which I can't wait for everybody to also find out about. Then we're going to go into a few demos and talks on how Polygon Nightfall, Maiden, and Hermes are set up. So we're going to go into the polynomial identity language by the ZKVM team. And then lastly, we're going to have a panel discussion with all of our speakers and Vitalik Buterin to just cover what we can do to move this entire ecosystem forward. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I want to invite Sandeep, Jaynti, and Mihailo, the founders of Polygon, to come on stage and share some of their thoughts. And without further ado, let's bring all of them on to the screen. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Kartik.
Hello, everyone.
Everyone.
Hello.
This is Sandeep.
Do
we have Mihailo also?
Yes.
Awesome. So, yes, Mihailo, you're audible. So yeah, let's begin with a small intro, from all of us. So I'm Sandeep. I am one of the co-founders at Polygon, and I look at the business side of things. That means the business development, marketing, and all the things related to this. JD.
Hi, Jaynti here, founder of Polygon. Started out of Matic here. Started tech and looking after the tech and research nowadays. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mihailo, one of the co-founders of Polygon. I'm mainly interested in scaling in our research effort, strategic side of things, and thank you so much for attending this event in such a large number. We are very humbled and honored to see you guys here.
Yep, amazing. So let's start this event off with basically brief about the purpose of Polygon, and then we can move on to different things. We'll walk you through our timeline and about our ZK things and things like that. So but like the talk or the discussion about Polygon cannot start without the discussion of Ethereum, right? And this is so we wanted to discuss about first what is the core thesis of Polygon here, what exactly Polygon is trying to achieve here, right? So basically this whole Web3 space and what blockchains are trying to do is to provide basically this internet of value, right? Web 2 was internet of information, and Web 3 is basically internet of value. And our strong belief is that Ethereum has strongly emerged as the value settlement layer, which is highly decentralized, highly secure environment for the value to transact globally, and probably even beyond the globe once human race starts growing multiplanetary and things like that. So but our belief is very strong that Ethereum is that settlement layer. And then on top of that, once Web3 starts expanding into into the mass adoption, we believe that the layer 2 solutions or secondary layer solutions on top of Ethereum will be the avenues where the end users will interact, where the business activity will happen. But all of these different avenues will connect back into Ethereum. And that's the core thesis of Polygon. And it includes other, ecosystem projects of Ethereum also. But at Polygon, we want to, truly be one of the most dominant player in the transaction layer. Similarly, many a time people ask that, okay, what solutions Polygon is providing, right? And we say that, and you might have heard that debate of like whether it's a layer two, it's this and that. First of all, like most of the people try, whenever they are talking about this, they are talking about one or the other solution of Polygon, right? But as a whole, what exactly is Polygon is that if you see, what we believe is that Ethereum scaling is a spectrum. We don't believe in a narrow definition of layer two. We believe that all the different kinds of different flavors of solution add value to Ethereum, add scalability to Ethereum, and add network effects to Ethereum. So this is a spectrum we believe that Ethereum scalability can happen, and you can see across the spectrum. On the left extreme, you see standalone chains where the security by Ethereum is very limited. And on the right extreme, you see fully secured layer two chains, which have both their data as well as dispute resolution, everything going back to Ethereum, which is mentioned in this arrow with DA and DR, dispute resolution and data availability. So Polygon wants to be present across this solution spectrum. On the left extreme, you have Polygon SDK, which provides you capability to have these EVM compatible sovereign chains. Then you have Polygon POS, which is like, kind of in the middle. It is actually, a chain, proof of stake chain built on top of Ethereum. And, it is currently, one of the most popular chains. And many of you guys might know that, Polygon solutions have the DAU even higher than currently the Ethereum main chain, and many of the users are using, and it's undoubtedly one of, not the highest used platform globally right now. And then, as I was talking about the spectrum, on the right spectrum, you have the zero knowledge solutions, zero knowledge rollups, and EVM compatible rollups, which are being built by various different solutions. And then Polygon Avail as a data availability solution, which ETH 2.0 data shards also are going to be, when it comes, they can give birth to Validium solution. So with that, with that base in mind, that what exactly is Polygon trying to achieve, let's go through the journey of Polygon. And I would request JD to take us all through the journey of Polygon, and then move forward from there. JD?
Yeah, thanks, Sandeep. So journey started with the idea to scale Ethereum in late 2017, when I was exploring multiple projects, and the same CryptoKitty happened at the same time. And then we realized that there is a need for the scaling solutions for the Ethereum. And at the same time, we started coding about the Matic and founded Matic. 2018, around 2018, we made it official. Sandeep, Anurag, and I made it official that we are going to kind of build Matic EVM-based scaling solutions. At the time, like there were a few scaling solutions, but they were so complex that the developers, not going to use that properly, or if they use that, there won't be a tool after the production, after the mainnet, right? So we thought EVM based chain would be better suited here for the developers to use and move from Ethereum to the specific chain in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, simple, easy to migrate. And then we kind of did our IEO in 2019 on Binance. It was very successful IEO so far on the Binance. As you can see, June, after multiple iterations, DevNet and testnet, we launched mainnet in early June of 2020. And since then, we have been grown so well that top games onboarded end of 2020. In February, Mihailo joined, in between late 2020. Mihailo joined as a co-founder. Polygon, Matic became the Polygon with idea, with a vision to have a multiple kind of solutions instead of one monolithic kind of POS chain solution. And you can see, like, after 2021, Aave, major DeFi protocols as well came on Polygon, SushiSwap, Aave, and multiple others, right? In May 2021, Mark Cuban invested in us, and we reached 10 billion mark in a market cap. 2021, at June 2021, SDK, we launched Studio. Studio has been successful in our journey, and we invested like many NFT projects, gaming projects so far, helped them to launch them, and it has been so successful so far. In August 2020, we announced Hermes network, and they are building EVM-based ZK rollups. We also launched 1 billion grant for 1 billion commitment from our side for the ZK-based technologies, scaling solutions. In Q3, EY came on board with Nightfall, with enterprises in mind and privacy in mind. And Q4 2021, we just announced, like a few days back, we announced Polygon Miden, with Start-based EVM solutions, ZK solutions. And one more thing, we are going to do that, but after some time. Wait for that. Yeah, you too, Mihailo.
Thanks, JD, and thanks, Sandeep. Yeah, so let me briefly cover what we call the Polygon ZK thesis here. And this thesis, basically the blog that covers it in more depth, is published several months ago. And basically we keep publishing it with every ZK related announcement. And I guess we can share it also after the event or during. But let's just briefly cover it. And one of the things that are part of this, some of the things that are part of this ZK thesis are relevant to what Sandeep and JD said. So I'll just try to run through these things as quickly as I can. So as Sandeep said, rightly, of course, we believe Ethereum is our best chance to build this global network of value and Web3. We are fully convinced in that right now, and we are considering Polygon an integral part of the Ethereum ecosystem, of course. And this whole promise of this global permissionless internet of value is really amazing and really supposed to complement this internet of information that we have been creating for the past decades and create a huge value add basically for the humanity, if you will. And we are fascinated by that idea, and we decided to pursue it and commit all of our resources to help reach that amazing and grand vision. That being said, again, Ethereum is Web3, equals Web3 in our minds, but we need to scale it first of all. So let us first cover where Polygon was, like Polygon beginnings and Polygon where it is now, basically, and the wider context of the industry, I guess, when we started versus where we are now. So when we started, as I said, there was this pressing need to scale. The Ethereum mainnet was heavily congested. Ethereum user base started to kind of deteriorate in a sense that alternative chains started popping up with some normally trade-offs and offering maybe additional throughput, and users started leaving and whatnot. So we understood there is this really pressing need to scale Ethereum. At the same time, scaling Ethereum was kind of a niche topic, which was very relevant in the Ethereum community, but in the wider context of the crypto industry, it wasn't that visible or premium, at least. And there were a lot of opinions, maybe even coming from VCs or influential people, that it is not really favorable to focus on scaling Ethereum and positioning yourself as a project on top of kind of Ethereum, instead of maybe competing with Ethereum. And it was kind of an accepted opinion that can bring bigger benefits in terms of, I don't know, value capture and things like that. On top of that, it's really important to understand that it is very hard to build quote unquote perfect solutions for Ethereum scaling, because Ethereum as a community really does not accept compromises when it comes to these core values or core engineering principles, which are mainly decentralization and security, first of all. On top of it, we have EVM as the standard that is kind of already established. All these things or requirements combined together make it pretty challenging to build kind of perfect or ideal solution or solutions. On top of that, Polygon, when we started, we have really modest resources, as JD already said. There was this small crowdfunding campaign, and even though the treasury was managed really well, we still basically, because market cap was very low, we had really modest resources at our disposal. And where we are now, like 10 months later, I guess, or so, since we announced Polygon, we are now by far the most adopted scaling platform in the industry. And moreover, as we are apart from Ethereum, we are very likely, to the best of our knowledge, the most adopted blockchain network or platform in the world, apart from Ethereum, which is, I guess we all agree, a huge success in such a short period of time. One additional thing that significantly changed since then is that scaling now is kind of a mainstream, and everyone's aware of it. And fortunately, everyone's aware of Polygon now, and we think with Polygon, we managed to set an important precedent in a sense that I think we kind of proven that we managed to prove that it's possible to build on Ethereum, with Ethereum, on top of Ethereum, and still capture value and still add value back to Ethereum instead of competing kind of with Ethereum. So we think this is one very important thing that will maybe set an example for future founders to think about when they're starting their projects. As a consequence, I guess, of this high level of adoption that we have seen. So we right now have more than 3,000 applications deployed on Polygon. We have more than 100 million user wallets. We have processed more than 1 billion transactions. We have more than 5 or 6 billion even now in user funds, completely organic without any incentives from our side. This huge level of adoption has subsequently led to the growth of the price of the token. We're not here to talk about the price, of course, but I'm just saying that subsequently increased dramatically financial resources that we have at our disposal. And that, of course, put us in a much better position for what we are about to do in the next chapter of Polygon. And now we can, Sandeep, if you can go to the next slide, please, so we can actually get to the thing. So how did we achieve? How did we achieve this success and this growth in such a short period? We had clear understanding, and we still have, that we have two major focuses that are driving us, driving everything we do at Polygon. One is shipping, and the second one is innovation. Innovation, because we are still in very early stage when it comes to building infrastructure for Web3 and this Internet of Values. So right now on Ethereum, we have millions of users, but we really want to onboard 1 billion plus, or even the whole world, and which means we need to scale 1000x from this point without, again, as I said, sacrificing these major principles, major design or engineering principles of Ethereum. To do that, a lot of innovation, it still has to be done. A lot of work on that front is ahead of us, and we understood it, and we are willing to accept it as one of our focuses. And the other one is shipping. For us, we're all, I guess, engineers by education and training, and we are shipping oriented. And for us, unfortunately, innovation without shipping is just an academic, basically, exercise. So yes, starting from there and realizing this pressing need to scale, we realized that we, for now at least, have to be very focused on shipping in this first period. As JD mentioned, we delivered Polygon POS, which turned out to be a huge success. We intentionally offered it as a solution that has certain trade-offs. No, not a single solution is perfect, of course, but we just realized that the community really needs solution today, EVM compatible solution today, without any delays. That was a very good decision in hindsight. And after all this growth and considering where we are now, which I just covered, we believe at Polygon now we need to focus even more and commit. We are in a great position to commit much more resources, all sorts of resources, financial, human resources, etc., to innovation. I think something happened with the slides. If we can just go back maybe to where we were. So yes, we are focusing back on innovation without losing focus on shipping. Shipping is still one of our, of course, major focuses, but we just believe that we are now in a very good position and we are thankful for that. And we want to commit significant resources basically to the innovation activity happening on Polygon. If you can just get back the slides, that would be great. I think something happened. Just a moment, I apologize.
Just give me 1 sec. There seems to be some issue with my this one's. Yes. Okay. Sorry for this disruption, guys. Okay, are we back? Guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Mihailo, you can proceed.
Just a moment. I try to open the presentation myself. Okay. Yes, excellent. Okay, sorry for this, guys. Okay, so speaking of innovation and our focus now on it, there are, as many of you will know, there are basically two major families of innovative solutions built on top of Ethereum, which are commonly called layer 2 solutions. One group are fraud-proof based solutions, which are the most prominent ones currently, at least, are optimistic rollups, and Plasma is also part of that same family of solutions. The other one are the second group are ZK-based solutions. As JD said, like we all started researching and experimenting with these solutions pretty early in 2017, I guess, ever since Plasma was introduced, and that's basically how JD and I met in the first place. And throughout all this time, we analyzed all these solutions, and we came basically to a conclusion that ZK-based solutions are probably the I don't want to say the way to go, but we definitely became biased towards this family of solutions because of several major reasons. We don't have, I guess, the capacity or the time to go into all the details and compare these two families. But in a nutshell, basically ZK-based solutions offer significant advantages in terms of scaling, first of all, in terms of security, first of all, formal security, provable security, and in terms of user experience. And these three things are, as we, I guess, all can agree, extremely important or critically important when building scaling solutions. That's why we decided that ZK basically is a strategic resource for us moving forward, and that we want to significantly focus and commit serious or significant funds from our treasury to experiment with these exciting solutions. So ZKPs, or zero knowledge proofs, or zero knowledge cryptography, is basically, I would say, a fascinating field of cryptography. It was introduced in mid-80s, and it didn't really have a lot of applications until blockchains came by. Zero knowledge cryptography, uses very interesting cryptography primitives and methods to prove certain statements, normally without revealing most of the parts of the statement, and normally or very often in a very succinct way. So it's possible to, with very little computation, potentially prove huge amount of computation or large amount of statements or transactions, if you will. And it became obvious along the way when blockchains were introduced, and when the scaling, pressing needs to scale was became obvious. it became also kind of obvious that ZK and their special properties might be a really, really interesting tool, basically, to address these major challenges. That's why we have seen in the past, I guess, 2 years, we have seen a true Cambrian explosion of innovation in the ZK field, a lot of new protocols, a lot of new primitives, a lot of new projects, and we are very happy to see that. And we are even more happy to be able now to seriously join this evolution, basically, of ZKs. As I said, we decided ZKPs are a strategic resource for us, and we decided to support this effort and innovation in this field with 1 billion fund or 1 billion commitment from our treasury. If we can just go to the next slide. Okay, and I want to just briefly cover what we have done so far before I hand it over to Sandeep again. In our ZK arsenal, we already have, so we announced the ZK thesis, I believe, 3 or 4 months ago, something like that. And in the meantime, we are very proud and happy that we have already significant results from this commitment. And so far, we have 3 active projects, 3 very exciting projects under the Polygon umbrella. First one is Polygon Hermes, as Jaynti mentioned. It is basically EVM compatible rollup. One interesting thing or specific, or let's say 2 interesting things about Hermes out of many are that Hermes is the first decentralized rollup. So rollups are currently normally centralized in a sense they normally have centralized operator. Hermes team has built the first and only, to the best of our knowledge at this moment, decentralized rollup. And they are now building ZK EVM, which is basically the reimplementation of the Ethereum virtual machine in a ZK-friendly manner, so to say. And we are very excited, of course, about this effort. Polygon Nightfall is the second project. It is done in collaboration with people from EY. It is basically a continuation of their work on Nightfall, the library for privacy that introduces privacy on Ethereum, mainly targeted towards enterprises. With them, we are now building this interesting hybrid rollup, basically, which is a hybrid of optimistic and ZK rollup, which is privacy focused. So this is the first application of ZKs targeted towards privacy. So that's the main reason, I guess, why we're excited about this. And the third one that we have announced so far is Polygon Maiden. Polygon Maiden is a Stark-based effort, which is basically a generic ZK or Stark-based rollup, which is going to be Ethereum compatible. So in a sense, you can draw some parallels, I guess, with Starkware effort between these projects, with the difference that this project is fully open source, it's mainly community driven. And there are some, of course, differences in the architecture, which we find very interesting, but we don't really have the time to cover those differences now. What is very important for us, like critically important, that as you can see, there are already 3 projects here. And some might ask, okay, how will these projects interact? Will they be competing with each other? What is your idea there? For us, we are extremely happy that we managed to establish a really, really good atmosphere between these projects. We are all aware that this is, again, a very early stage of innovation. These projects are working very closely together. They're constantly in touch. I mean, we are all constantly in touch. We are exchanging knowledge, updating each other, helping each other, and we are moving together towards this hopefully brighter future of scaling. That being said, this arsenal is already very powerful, I would say. But it might even be better, or might even complete the puzzle if we just can add something more to it. So what can we possibly add? I will leave it now to Sandeep, but can we imagine that we have the fastest ZK scaling technology in the world? That in some way would probably complete or really add a lot of value to this arsenal that we have now. And yeah, with this, I will just leave it to Sandeep. Sandeep, please.